Hey, hey, hey. How are you today? Good morning, good evening, good middle of the night, depending on where you are in the world. I am Charisma Cares, functional medicine nurse practitioner, and founder of Holistic Breakthrough Wellness Clinic. Today, I am so happy to invite you to protecting your peace, surviving holiday expectations without losing yourself. So let's allow people to jump on, and I will get my screen shared and we will get started. Mhm. This is recently. Okay, there we go. All right, so I hope you can see that okay. So the holidays can bring joy. But as you all know, they can also bring pressure. Pressure to show up, pressure to give, to fix, and perform. But this season is not about perfection, it's about honesty. This space is where we will unpack the emotional weight of the holidays so you can finally choose peace without apology. So here's my disclaimer, and I give it every time I do a course. This is educational material and it does not replace medical advice from your provider. So please consult your medical provider before you making any changes, be it your diet, your exercise, or your supplement protocol. Also, take what you need and leave what you don't. We make a reasonable effort to give you the most updated information, but medicine is ever changing, so make sure you do your research on your own and see a provider such as myself. All right, let's see. I want to make sure you're able to see this the best way. Plus, this gives you all a little time to continue to jump on. Okay, so I'm Charisma Freeman or Charisma Cares, board certified nurse practitioner, certified functional medicine provider with nearly 20 years of medical experience in multiple things: ICU, oncology, hospice, psychiatry, and integrative mental health. The titles don't tell my whole story. For years, I did what so many of us do. I pushed through. I was the strong one, a wife, a mother of two, a nurse. I was carrying it all silently. And then everything changed. Shortly after my son was born, he began missing milestones. It took 7 exhausting years of advocating for him to find out he had a rare genetic condition called CAND or KIF1A. This is a brain disorder that causes him to worsen over time. It felt like the floor had been ripped from under me. Suddenly, I was juggling 15 plus specialists, therapy appointments, and more, along with a growing fear of what the future may hold for my son, my daughter, and even myself. I was going through a divorce and trying to keep life as normal as possible for my daughter at that time. Working hospice full time while holding my baby through medical procedure after medical procedure was overwhelming to say the least. I was crying in the dark, but I was smiling in the light. Eventually, my own body broke down. Panic attacks, gut issues. Eventually, I was diagnosed with anxiety, depression, and what we now know as burnout. I took a leave of absence from work, and for the first time, I said out loud, I need help. That moment became the start of something new. I made a radical decision around, I made a radical decision around my life. This was around Black Lives Matter movement. We would leave the US behind and move abroad. I figured if his good years were limited, then we needed to take advantage of that. A few years later, around COVID, my daughter graduated from high school, and during her gap year, we all left to begin the next chapter in our lives. We created a slower, more intentional life. And slowly, my son started getting better. The same exact doctors who said my child would decline by puberty was now seeing that he was improving. Swimming, horseback riding, laughing, and just being stronger. But something else shifted as well. I started listening to my own needs, and I realized I wasn't alone. Everywhere I went in this world, I met Black women just like me, tired, overworked, overlooked, pretending they were fine while falling apart inside. That's when I knew this wasn't just about my son's healing anymore. This was about mine as well. And eventually it became my mission. I began studying functional medicine, not just as a provider, but as a patient, connecting the dots that nursing school left out, natural and holistic healing. I created Holistic Breakthrough Wellness Clinic for women like us, especially Black women, to heal what's really hurting. I help you bridge that gap between the mental, emotional, and physical health of it all because it's interconnected. We don't just talk about anxiety, we explore the root cause. We look at your hormones that are affecting your mental health. We look at your nervous system that's affecting your physical health. We look at your gut. We look at your trauma because healing isn't one thing, it's everything. So if you're tired of being tired, if you're feeling the weight of it all, you have to know you don't have to carry it alone. There's another way, and I'm here to walk beside you. So if this resonates with you, I want you to take the time to book a connection call. But we're going to go into this first. Protecting your peace, surviving holiday expectations without losing yourself. So the holidays are marketed as this joy-filled, warm, magical time. And for a lot of us, that's great, right? But for many of us, it's something very different. There's the emotional pressure. Excuse me. There's family dynamics. And then there's these expectations that we are supposed to show up as the strong one, the dependable one, the one that holds everything together. But not in this space today. In this space, it's not about pretending, it's not about perfection. This is about honesty. We are here to unpack the emotional weight we carry during this season so you can choose peace without guilt, without apology, and without shame. So, here today, this is your permission to put yourself back into the conversation. Now, I want to begin with awareness. We're not performing here, right? So I want you to check in with yourself for a moment. Make sure you're sitting in a quiet area and close your eyes if that feels comfortable for you. For me, I typically do need to close my eyes. And then we're going to start with some gentle breathing, and we're just going to check in with ourselves, okay? So close your eyes and let's do some breathing, just normal, slow breaths in and out, in and out. So I want you to think of a few things. Tell me, what does your body feel like during this time of year? Is it stressed? Is it tense? Is it relaxed, calm, tired? What emotions tend to surface for you? Is it sadness, overwhelm, excitement, or frustration? Is it happiness? Or maybe for you, it's feelings of grief. Then I want to know, what does your mind start doing? Do you go into planning mode? Are you overthinking? Are you hiding? Let's sit with these emotions because there's no right or wrong answer. It's just information. Your body is always communicating. We just have to learn how to listen to it. Take another slow, deep breath in and out, and come back to us. Wiggle your toes, your fingers, your shoulders. Get a little movement back in there. And jot down some notes there about what you felt in that moment. What I did want you to know, though, is that you're not alone. More than 60% of women report that the holidays increase their stress, not decrease it, but increase. One in three women experience symptoms of anxiety, depression, or even mood changes during this time of year. And when we look at Black women, we see something deeper. We are less likely to seek support. We are more likely to push through. We are more likely to somatize, which means the stress shows up in our body. High blood pressure, insomnia, fatigue, autoimmune flares. And this is not because we are weak. This is because many of us have lived in survival mode for too damn long. So before we go any further, I want you to hear me and hear me very clearly. You are not alone. You are not dramatic, and you are not being too sensitive. You are tired because you have been carrying too damn much for too damn long. And that is why we're here, to lighten the load. And that's exactly why I created this healing season and why it exists right now and why I do just the love donation only, because this is something that you need. You need to and remind yourself that I need you to know you don't have to do this alone. I'm here for you. Holistic Breakthrough is here for you. Now, I want you to reflect. I'm going to give you some discussion prompts, okay, throughout this time. How many of you feel like you're the only one struggling while everyone else looks fine? Well, women are strong and we're very, very good at hiding. What if I told you most of us watching today feel or have felt the same way? What way is that, Charisma? Well, then we'll go into what the stress feel like. Stress that often doesn't announce itself, right? It shows up in small shifts. It can be starts little things. Snapping at people you love. It can be feeling numb, withdrawing, crying, only when no one is watching. Losing interest, sleeping too much, not sleeping at all, eating everything or eating nothing at all. If you've seen yourself in these patterns, that's not bad behavior. That's your nervous system grasping for relief. And today, we're going to give you some. Holidays don't just bring celebrations, they bring triggers. Yes, role triggers like slipping back into the peacemaker, the caretaker, the strong one, things that you thought you got rid of. Expectations, keeping everybody happy, holding everything together, smoothing everything over. Emotional landmines, comments about your life, your parenting, your relationship, your weight, your choices. I mean, everybody feels like that. It's like a free for all. Like we're just allowed to say whatever the hell we say at that Thanksgiving table. And so your body is preparing itself. It already knows what it's going into, right? The shoulders tighten, the chest closes, your jaw locks, the breathing shortens. This isn't weakness. Mm-mm. This is your nervous system remembering. And here's the cycle that all of us know too well. It's the holiday pressure cycle. You want everyone to be okay. So you say yes, even when you mean no. That's you. If that is you, I need you to comment and let me know that's you. Let me know who I'm talking to. You overextend. Is that you who are the people that overextend and do more than they should? You overgive. You going into debt. You getting off work, taking care of the kids, and still trying to go shopping for some things. Is that who is that? Who am I talking to? Is that you? Go ahead and comment. Let me know. Let others know because there are other people that feel the same way you feel, yet they don't feel safe to let it be known. So that's why I need you to let it be known so that they know they don't have to feel unsafe as well. So, what's the other thing you do? Your needs go last. Again, you put everybody else in front of you. And guess what? Then you get resentment. You resent them. You're like, I always do this, I always do that. Nobody does this, nobody does that, but you're not saying no, right? You're not saying no. So then you go into mode. Then afterwards, you promise next year will be different. And next year is not different. Nothing changes because the guilt is in the driver's seat here. So people pleasing, burnout, guilt, repeat, all going around in this circle. Today we're breaking that cycle if you choose to. But I want to talk about guilt some more. Not the guilt that comes from doing something wrong, but the guilt that comes from choosing yourself. When you say yes out of obligation, not desire, your nervous system hears, my needs are not safe here. And your body responds. Again, the tense shoulders, the shallow breath, the racing mind, the irritation, the shutting down emotionally. But guilt is not proof that you're doing something wrong. Guilt is simply a familiar emotion, an emotional reaction to an unfamiliar act of self-respect. But let's say that again. Guilt is simply a familiar emotional reaction to an unfamiliar act of self-respect. You can feel guilty and still choose yourself. That's where your power begins. Because if I'm gonna be guilty, you might as well put me first. There's no need of me being guilty and tired. And families operate like patterns. That's why these boundaries are so hard. It's like a rhythm. Everybody plays a role. You got the strong one, the fixer, the quiet one, the always there one. When you begin honoring your needs, the rhythm changes. And some people are not going to like that. They do not want the rhythm to change because they benefited from the old rhythm. They benefited from the old you. So the pushback you feel, the signs, the comments, the oh, here she goes, the guilt trips, that is not proof that your boundary is wrong. Since that is proof that your boundary is working. You are disrupting old patterns that were never meant to be your identity. Those thoughts are not truth. They are conditioning. They'll be disappointed. They'll think I don't care. That's just the way our family is. Honey, that's just the way our family is. The things that we have endured in our family, the secrets we have swept under the rug, that is not how our family will continue to be. That may be for years, but it's not going to continue to be that way. A lot of us were raised to believe that love equals self sacrifice, family equals emotional obligation, being a good woman equals silence. So when they hear no, they feel betrayed. But there is a difference between keeping the peace and sacrificing yourself to avoid comfort. Okay, I'm gonna say that one again. Okay. There is a difference between keeping the peace and sacrificing yourself to avoid discomfort. You are allowed to break a pattern without breaking the relationship. And honey, if that relationship does break, it was held together by your self abandonment, not self love. Okay. All right, now I'm gonna tell y'all gonna come to these. I'm gonna tell you the truth. So I want you to write down, how does the holiday season usually make you feel? Take 30 seconds, jot down one word, one for your body, one for your emotions, and one for your mind. Let me see your words. Drop them down in the comments. Let me see what we're dealing with. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Keep it going, because we need to know, we need to identify how this is showing up. Okay. So before we talk boundaries, we need to go over some things. So let's just be practical. Before we even talk strategy, we need to build awareness. And I want you to ask yourself these questions. One, where are you overextending? Two, where are you overperforming? And three, where are you overcompensating? Go ahead and throw those in the chat. Choose one, choose all. Where are you overextending? Where are you overperforming? And where are you overcompensating? And this can be, for example, maybe you're too tired to do Thanksgiving dinner this year. Maybe you just don't want to. You just don't feel like it. Or maybe the funds are tight and you just rather spend it on something else. So these are things where you may be overextending. Um, so let's talk a little bit. You do not have to attend every gathering. Everything that happens, you do not have to be there. You do not have to cook for everybody. Maybe you don't feel like it this year. It's been a long year. It's been a long year for a lot of us. You do not have to keep traditions that drain you. Do what you want to do. Create your own traditions. You are allowed to redefine what holiday peace looks like for you. Okay? This is where we shift from reflection to decision. You deserve rest, space, quiet, ease, time to breathe, and time to feel like yourself again. Boundaries are not about pushing people away. They are how we stay connected, but in a healthy way. And every time you honor your limit, you reinforce the message: my peace matters, my voice matters, I matter. This is the beginning of emotional freedom. Okay, we're going to reflect again. Yes, we're doing a lot of reflecting here. So, how to set boundaries and then actually keep them. Ask yourself and throw it in the comments, because I love seeing what you all have to say. And even if you're watching the replay, watch this as if it's your first time. Okay. What do I truly need to feel safe, rested, and well? What do you need? What is necessary for you to be in a safe place? We need to identify our limits. If we don't know what our limits are, how do we know if somebody's breaking them? Then the other thing is, use I statements. This keeps the conversation grounded instead of defensive. And I'm bad about this. I work on this myself. And you truly have to be intentional about I statements. Um, when I'm told to cook Thanksgiving dinner, I feel like my time is not valued. That's how you feel. It's not saying you don't value my time. I just feel like my time is not valued. Next one, communicate early and clearly. Let them know I need some downtime this year to recharge. And say it before plans are formed, not afterwards, because then you're overwhelmed and then other people become resentful because you said you were going to do this, but you didn't do this. So make sure you do it clearly and early. And then expect pushback. Remember, this is what they're used to. So that discomfort is temporary, but your peace will be long term, ma'am. Long term. And lastly, stay consistent. If you set a boundary and don't hold it, you teach people you did not mean it. This is where your power lies. This is where you're strengthened. This is where change begins. So, this is our turning point. Boundaries are not just emotional, they are biological. They affect your heart rate, your blood pressure, your hormones, your sleep, inflammation, and mood stability. When you constantly override your needs, your nervous system lives in overdrive. When you honor your needs, your body finally exhales. This isn't just emotional work anymore, this is nervous system regulation. And we cannot heal emotional overwhelm without addressing the body. Your nervous system is running the show. So when you feel like you're fighting yourself, you're not. Your body is stuck in survival mode. And healing, it looks different for everyone. For some, it's going to be light therapy. We bring the light back in when winter hits. For others, it's going to be medicine or supplements like adaptogens that help rebalance what stress has drained. This is where functional medicine come in. Some popular ones are ashwagandha and ginseng that help calm the stress response. Sleep routines tell your nervous system is safe. Breath work and grounding retrain the brain to stop living on high alert. So you deserve a body that feels safe to rest. And we're going to help you there. We're going to get there step by step. But awareness is not the final step, it's the doorway. And you've already identified a couple of things. We talked about what drains you, we talked about what overwhelmed you. We hoping to healing, where we stop reacting from survival mode and start responding from grounded peace. So your next steps are intentional. They're not accidental, they're not emotional, they're not reactive. This is choosing yourself on purpose. So I want you to know, think of a boundary, think of one boundary that will protect your peace this holiday season. Maybe it's family time, or energy. And I want you to type it in the chat or write it in your journal, starting with this year, I give myself permission to. And share it in the chat. This is a safe space. Because that right there is awareness, become a healer. Once you name it, then you can claim it. We've heard that before, right? So this year, I give myself permission to. Got that? Mm-hmm. Okay. So we're almost done. Stay with me. So if you're anxious, you're struggling to sleep, snapping at people you love, feeling numb or overwhelmed, pushing through instead of feeling resourceful, um, this is not just stress. As I said, this is your nervous system asking for help. And I say this with love. You do not have to keep trying to manage this on your own. Your healing is not a solo project, and you really deserve support from someone that actually understands the emotional, the cultural, and the biological layers of what you carry. So, to tell you a little bit about us, I want you to know I don't separate your mind from the body or your story from your symptoms. When we work together, we look at everything, you know, is stress, how stress, trauma, hormones, sleep, nutrition, and more interact together. We uncover what your body has been trying to tell you for years and finally give you the support you need to heal. This isn't about pushing through. You've done that long enough. You've pushed through. You've tried to change. You've tried to incorporate different things, and it didn't work. And this is about being held, supported, and taught how to live in balance again. So that I don't just do supplements or talk therapy. I help you reconnect your body and your mind and your soul. I want you to hear this clearly. You do not have to earn rest. You do not have to justify your boundaries. You do not have to hold everything together. You do not have to keep traditions that are hurting you. This year, you are allowed to choose quiet over chaos, presence over performance, peace over perfection, no without guilt. And if you're ready to stop surviving and start healing, your next step is simple. Let's book a connection call. Not tomorrow when things calm down, not after the holidays. I want you to book that connection call now while your body is asking for help. Your peace matters and it is waiting for you. So, I'm going to bring up that information in a bit for a connection call, but I do want to give you some reminders. What love offering and journal reminder. So, your healing season journal is your reflection guide between the sessions. Take a deep breath and choose a question that speaks loudest to you tonight and start to journal on that. If you do not have that, that means you did not register. So, you need to go to holisticbreakclinic.com/healing season and you can register there. It's if you're on our email list, you have the email and I'll throw it into the chat here. If you want to send a love offering, you can send that on Holistic Break Clinic through PayPal. This helps keep these programs free or low cost for women that would otherwise not be able to afford it. So, what's going on here? If you have not registered, there is the link to register. So you can get your journal and your reminders. Book your connection call if this touched you. If you feel like you're at a place where you're ready to start healing and bring peace in your life, and you realize this is emotional, spiritual, and physical, and popping a pill just isn't enough anymore, then I want you to go ahead and register for the connection call. Those slots are limited as we go into the holiday season because I believe in rest. Session 3, Grief, Grace, and Growth is Healing Through the Holidays. This is not only about individuals that have lost someone, but this is about women that have lost themselves as well. So, this is what we're going to talk about Wednesday, December 17th at 6 p.m. Eastern. Please remember this course stays up till Sunday. After that, it goes into the Holistic Break Clinic vault. So, we told you to get registered, how to book your connection call about the next session, and make sure you're registered to get that healing journal. So I thank you so much for being here with me today or tonight, depending on when you are. Be sure to throw your questions in the chat. We will go over that. If you need to reach me, I'm at hello@holisticbreakclinic.com. And then I look forward to seeing you all on the connection call. Ciao. Doo, doo, doo.